Ash Ketchum's back at it again with the white Vans, but also with collecting Johto Gym badges for another shot at the Pokemon League. With the fresh team, the same trusty friends, and a lot of new strategies, we're ranking every single Johto Gym battle from worst to best. He only lost once in Johto, that being to Whitney, and beat the rest on his first try. That means we only have 9 battles to rank, so let's not waste any time. Coming in at last place, we have Chuck, the one and only trainer of his entire list to actually make a reappearance in Pokemon Journeys. He was even mentioned by Brawly in Advanced Generation. So much continuity for what is essentially the worst gym battle in the Johto region. Chuck was Ash's 5th gym of the Johto saga, and it's remarkably his worst. First things first though, this episode is a certified 4Kids hood classic.
Macho man!
Yeah, 4Kids was always cooking with these titles. Now for the battle itself, Chuck had 2 Pokemon, those being Poliwhirl and Machoke. What's weird is that Poliwhirl is his in-game ace, but the anime treated his ace as Machoke. They changed almost every gym leader's Pokemon for the most part, and they couldn't give him Hitmontop, or even Heracross. Regardless, the battle starts off with Poliwhirl versus Pikachu, who was actually used in every single gym battle, so props to Pikachu in the Johto region. But spoiler alert, he only didn't get knocked out twice. Don't worry, I'm going to be tracking every single Pokemon's win-loss in the Johto gym battles, and presenting their win-loss record at the end. They show off Chuck's Poliwhirl's insane power by having him deflect an attack from Pikachu, and then one-shotting it with Double Slap. Yeah, as you're gonna see, one-shots are extremely common in the Johto gym battles. This battle, however, was Bayleaf's time to shine, as it had just evolved 10 episodes ago. An episode after that, Bayleaf and Ash had a falling out before rekindling their friendship, and in it, she learned Body Slam. This episode also had a Machoke. I wonder if that's a coincidence. Body Slam was a move that she used in this very same battle to defeat both Poliwhirl and Machoke. This battle also gets a lot of injustice due to how many cutaways we had to Team Rocket, the swift defeat of Pikachu, and overall blandness. In general, I wouldn't say that this was a bad gym battle, but Johto had some decent battles, and this battle ended up in the last place of both our rankings. That's right, it's time for the LUAPER channel's #1 recurring guest star to help with this video. We both watched these battles, ranked them, and then average out the list to make this ranking.
At number 8, we have Ash vs Whitney, round 1. What I loved about this battle is how accurately it captures the monstrosity that is Whitney's miltank. As soon as Cyndaquil sweeps Nidorina and Clefairy, Ash starts acting cocky, thinking he could win this entire battle with just 1 Pokemon. But as soon as Miltank enters the stage, she rolls every single one of Ash's Pokemon out of the match.
Holy cow!
But while this battle does an awesome job at evoking childhood trauma, it does feel kind of one-dimensional. Miltank is reduced to just an unstoppable roller, where in fact, she's much more than that. Stomp, Attract, and Milk Drink are all iconic moves that would have made for an even better, more complex story to this whole Miltank situation. Not to mention, I didn't like how Nidorina and Clefairy are totally incompetent. Like, why did Whitney even let her Clefairy battle if it's not a battler? And why is Nidorina even in this battle? Overall though, I wouldn't consider this battle to be bad, albeit having multiple flaws. It aimed to tell a specific story, which is the unstoppable legendary Miltank, and they were truly successful at that.
The next battle on this list is just about the same. It's Ash's rematch against the Demon Cow itself. The episode following Ash's defeat to Whitney, they had an unofficial rematch at her uncle's ranch. This time Ash was less cocky and instead had a solid strategy in place. He used the same 3 Pokemon again to go up against Miltank. No, seriously, that's all she did was use Rollout non-stop. Ash strategically used Cyndaquil to tire her out a little. Get it? Tire? And then Totodile was used to wet the ground to make it more uneven for Miltank to roll around. Finally, Pikachu went under Miltank, bopping it up and defeating her with Thunderbolt.
Holy cow!
This battle was fun because we got to see Ash be more strategic, which was a recurring theme in all of his Johto battles, a huge step up from the Kanto ones. What knocks this one down a peg is that he essentially used 3 Pokemon to defeat 1. While it was great, it's kind of ridiculous. Also, this was technically an unofficial gym battle, but because he was awarded a gym badge afterwards, we'll count it. This was the first of 2 times that Ash was allowed to use less Pokemon than the gym leader. Can you name the other one?
Coming in at number 6, it's Ash vs Faulkner. What makes Ash vs Faulkner distinct from all the other first gym battles is this is the only one where Ash doesn't come in with a fresh team. This means that for a first gym leader, Faulkner is shown to be especially strong, wielding a Pidgeot as his ace. The first match between Hoot and Chikorita is a solid showing of 2 Johto Pokemon battling it out in a gym setting. It's also a nice warm-up for Chikorita, showing not only its feistiness, but also the fact that choosing Chikorita as your starter will be a challenging situation. Faulkner's status as a top-tier bird keeper is displayed quite excellently, such as when his Dodrio jumps so high that it looks like it can fly, and the way his Pidgeot maneuvers the sky so expertly, always running circles around Charizard. He's also got a tough love personality towards his challengers as a way to help them grow as trainers, which is seen when he's taunting Ash to forfeit the match, and declaring that losing this battle will teach Ash a lesson. However, this battle also has some flaws. For one, the first half felt a little rushed. It's just a few generic exchanges of attacks as each Pokemon faints one by one. There isn't really a story being told before Pidgeot came in. Also, I didn't like how Pidgeot managed to land way too many attacks, but Charizard still stands strong, whereas Charizard only has to hit twice and instantly wins the battle. Nevertheless, my favorite gym battle moments are always the ones where Ash wins with strategy over brute strength. So it's cool to see Ash overcoming Faulkner's Pidgeot's agility come from behind sneak tactic as he commands Charizard to aim its Fire Spin behind. And it wouldn't be an iconic Charizard battle without having Seismic Toss as a finishing move. Overall, this battle is absolutely a wonderful send-off for Charizard, and a major upgrade from the Kanto gym battles, signaling that many of the future Johto gym battles are gonna be fun to watch.
Price, baby makes a top 5. This was a battle that had a good build-up as Ash and friends helped Price reunite with his beloved partner Pokemon and thaw his cold heart before being allowed to battle against him. If you want to melt my heart, you can reunite yourself with the subscribe button, or unite with it for the first time. I won't judge. Going into this battle was a 2-on-2 gym battle. Actually, 3 gym battles were 2-on-2, and they were all back-to-back. The rest of the gyms in Johto prefer the 3-on-3 Pokemon format, and I do too. The battle started off with Dewgong going against Cyndaquil, the high-key MVP of Ash's Johto Gym Badges run, but we'll get into that later. Cyndaquil and Dewgong have a good back and forth, but eventually it's Cyndaquil who emerges victorious. Then Price sends out his ace Piloswine, who quickly avenges Dewgong and evens the score at 1 apiece. Afterwards we get an amazing back and forth battle with Pikachu and Piloswine. They both unleash attacks at each other, with Pikachu able to land Thunderbolt on Piloswine after it falls in the water and gets soaked. We also get to see Pikachu jumping from glacier to glacier, which reminded me of the Ice Path puzzles, a place where Piloswine is naturally found. After more back and forth battles with both sides giving it their all, Price literally throws in the towel and forfeits, granting Ash and Pikachu a victory. This is the only time to date that Ash won a gym badge via forfeit, and honestly it makes sense, since Piloswine was locked away for so long, Price didn't want it to overexert itself. This battle could have placed higher if it was a little bit less redundant, but it was definitely a solid battle. You could even say it was as solid as ice.
Number 4. Ash vs Jasmine. Ash vs Jasmine is a classically good battle. Being a 2v2 match, each Pokemon truly got their chance to shine on the battlefield. Jasmine's Magnemite was shown to be really speedy, and its battle with Pikachu is a good way to show how resistant electric types are towards each other. I also enjoyed how Ash allows Pikachu to absorb Magnemite's attacks as a way to deplete its energy, a strategy which Jasmine then uses against Ash. And as for Jasmine's Steelix, it is arguably the best display of how powerful and skilled a gym leader ace can be. It utilizes Sandstorm to shield itself from attacks, while simultaneously using Dig to escape and sneak from underneath, all while having this magnificently unnerving presence. But the real star of the show is Ash's Cyndaquil. This is Cyndaquil's best performance in the anime. Not only is it shown to be the ever-resilient Pokemon that it is, but it's also shown to be quite tactful, using the host to hide and firing a flamethrower from behind, using its flamethrower to bounce off of things, and finally, Cyndaquil defeats Steelix with its Brute Special Force, the literal flame that burns within, which contrasts another gym battle which we'll talk about in a bit. This battle exhibits how a single Pokemon can win in multiple ways. My only gripe about this battle is that it felt too long. Some parts dragged a bit, like they could have added an extra minute or two and made this a 3v3 instead. But I'm happy with what we got, which is why Ash vs Jasmine is placed 4th.
Taking in the bronze medal is Bugsy. Bugsy was the second gym leader in Johto, hailing from Azalea Town. Bugsy starts the battle with Spinarak, a Pokemon that he doesn't use in the games, but a welcome addition since it's a Johto native. Ash decides to send out Cyndaquil and utilize its fire attacks, but this Spinarak is tricky, so he has to recall it for now. He then sends out Chikorita. Ash is aware of the type disadvantage, but wants to prove that it doesn't matter, and it actually works out for him as he snags the first victory of the battle. Bugsy then goes with Metapod, but don't worry, it's not like his Metapod. This one is quick and knows how to battle well, defeating Chikorita. Pikachu then comes in defeating Metapod, before being defeated by Bugsy's ace, Scyther. Man, this thing was such a threat with Fury Cutter in the games. It proves to be just as powerful in the anime, beating Pikachu despite the type disadvantage. It's now up to Cyndaquil, but this won't be such an easy task. Cyndaquil has its back against the wall, but after jumping above Scyther and using a flamethrower attack, the match is over. This is a well-played battle by both parts, with both of them having to deal with a type weakness at one point in the battle. They both gave it their all, but it just didn't have the oomph that the top two spots have. Again, I love how they gave Bugsy a Spinarak, but would have killed him to give him like a Ladian or something. We really needed more Johto representation, which doesn't really get fixed with...
Taking the second spot, it's Ash vs Morty. Ash vs Morty is a gym battle in which Ash had a solid plan going in, and that plan is Noctowl and its Foresight attack. You see, this is Ash's first time battling a Ghost-type specialist, and it was a time when Ghost Pokemon felt mythical. They can just disappear whenever they want and take no hits. So Foresight was a big deal for Ash. Noctowl's Foresight exposed all three of Morty's ghosts, allowing Pikachu and Cyndaquil to work together to take out Ghastly. Then Noctowl was like, "Grrr, grrr, leave the rest to me." Honestly, out of all Johto Gym battles, this is definitely the one that best showcased the strength of a single Pokemon. Ash's Noctowl not only provided the key move that evened out the playing field, this battle is also an excellent showing of its speed, physical and special strength, as well as its will to keep on going. It learns Confusion mid-battle, giving it the super effective attack it needs to clinch the win. And we know how rare it is for Ash's Pokemon to learn Psychic moves, so this one's very significant. Then when it's hit by Confuse Ray, Noctowl still listens to Ash and takes on the Nightshade to get rid of the confusion. My only slight problem in this battle is it felt like Ghastly and Haunter got most of the development, leaving Gengar with little time to show off its tenacity. But I guess it also tells us that Ash may have had a rough start, but he kept getting better and better as the battle went on. Ash's Noctowl and its battle with Morty will forever be the underrated gems that the Pokemon fandom needs to appreciate more.
And to no one's surprise, Claire takes the #1 spot. We both rated this battle as the best battle in Johto, and that is about the coldest take you could come up with. How can it not be though? The roster for this battle was insane. Claire uses Kingdra, Gyarados, and her ace Dragonair, and Ash uses Snorlax, Pikachu, and Charizard. It took Ash using his 3 strongest Pokemon, basically needing to recall 2 of his prior season catches, and I'm not talking about Pikachu, in order to win this one. The battle starts off with Kingdra going against Snorlax, and it was a great back and forth with Snorlax eventually winning the round. Up next is Gyarados, who has an easy time taking care of the worn out Snorlax. Pikachu comes in, and with 4 times super effective advantage, it's clear who won. And I just want to make a note how even in this battle, Pikachu uses Agility, a move that he used often throughout the Johto saga. Up next was Claire's ace, who of course has a time with Pikachu and defeats it. So for the finale, we get a Draconic clash between Charizard and Dragonair. They fight well, with Claire using the water to her advantage by continuously diving underwater. It's kinda funny, she acts as a pseudo water type gym leader since 2/3 of her Pokemon are water type and Dragonair loves the water, and in complete contrast to her gym having literal lava in the games. Anyways, Ash goes big brain and evaporates the water with Fire Spin, and ends things off how Charizard does most of the time with Seismic Toss. This battle had it all: strong Pokemon, great strategies, and fantastic pacing. It's the best Johto gym battle for Ash, but it probably ranks up there as one of his best gym battles, period. And there you have it, our rankings for the best gym battles that Ash had in Johto. If you're curious about Pokemon's win percentages like I am, well, let me just share them with you. The biggest jobber was Totodile, who lost both times that it appeared in battle, and it sadly only got to battle against Whitney. Honestly, such a shame. But at least he got to appear in battles, unlike Heracross. Then we have a technical tie, with Snorlax and Pikachu both having a 50% win rate. Snorlax only appeared against Claire, and Pikachu literally battled in every single gym battle. And then in another tie, we have Cyndaquil and Bayleaf, who sported a 60% win rate, which for Cyndaquil is insane as it knocked out 6 Pokemon in the gym battles, and Bayleaf's shining moment was of course Sweeping Chuck. And our 2 undefeated Pokemon are the flying duo of Charizard and Noctowl, who both went 2-0 during their time in Johto. Which Pokemon do you think truly deserves MVP for Johto? Of course, Pikachu appeared in the most battles, but it also had time to train in Kanto, and it still went 50-50, so I'm giving the crown to Cyndaquil. Good job, buddy. What does your Johto Gym Battle ranking look like? Let me know in the comments below. But for now, we're headed to the Hoenn region, so I'm out. Peace.